It's a Saturday afternoon. You're scrolling through Facebook Marketplace looking for a good deal on a new project car. You find one that tickles your fancy and you start looking through it. Looks pretty clean, seems to be in pretty good condition. Oh, well, what else is wrong? Oh, well, how much are they asking then?
What? What?
If only there was an auction site, or just any website, anything, where you could find incredibly cheap cars at an even more incredible risk, where it's a 50-50 chance that the car you get comes with a blown engine, or even an engine at all. Imagine if something like that exists. Insurance auctions, they're out there looking for you, calling your name, saying, hey, that car you want, I got it for $1,000. Could be yours. Is there an engine? Who knows? Not me, but you could find out once you give us the money. Also an additional half the price of the car in fees. Then you get to find out. It's like a mystery box. It's so cool. This is my 2014 Scion FR-S that I bought from Insurance Auto Auctions. It came with 179,396 miles, a salvage rebuilt title, and a full tank of gas. Some other unique features that were included were a full aftermarket exhaust, aftermarket taillights, a colorful weighted shift knob, a lot of slop in the shifter so it's hard to tell if you're in 5th or 3rd, and blown coilovers. Insurance auctions, they ain't your typical Facebook Marketplace haggle. With Marketplace, you're typically looking at fighting off hordes of the undead in order for the seller just to even respond to you. And when he does, he's typically related to the Lord of the Underworld himself, so it's not always a whole ton of fun. But insurance auctions, on the other hand, they're a totally different ballgame. Instead of dealing with Satan himself, you get to deal with Lucifer, who's a totally much better normal dude. So how insurance auctions typically work, if you're not familiar, is that they'll have all the listings on every single one of their locations, all available for you to browse for free, but that doesn't mean that you're able to bid on all of them. Some do require that you have a business or a dealership or a scrapper's license in order to bid on some of the cars for, I think, liability issues. But you can get around that. Maybe it's not liability, so you can get around it, so I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, there's these things called brokers that will essentially bid on the car for you. You'll pay them a small fee, and then they'll ship the car to you. And if you think the car's worth it, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Personally, I think the best way to find cars on these type of sites is by utilizing their filters. You can filter for what's the word? Public auctions, right? So you don't get all the dealership or scrapper auctions mixed in with all your results. You can also filter by transmission type, driveline type, or if the car is run and drive, has a clean title, all that sort of stuff. It's a super useful feature, and I highly recommend that you do that, because I've had plenty of cars that I would find and then be like, oh, this is a perfect deal, I gotta get this, and then find out it's in Hawaii. There goes that dream, because the shipping alone would cost at least probably 5 times the price of the car. But I guess it depends on what kind of car you're looking for. Now for the costs. How much did it cost me to get my Scion FR-S? I won the auction with a bid of $2,250, and I was like pretty happy. I was like, that's not a bad deal for a running and driving Scion FR-S. But then they hit you with the fees. Those fees, they're something. So the fees on my car, I won it with a bid of $2,250. Then they have the buyer fee. Don't know what that is, but that was $500. Then they have a service fee. Don't know what that is, but that was $95. Then they have an internet fee. That seems, I don't know. That was $89. Then they have an environmental fee, which was $15. Then they have the transport and shipping fee, which was $207, bringing me to a total of $3,156. And if we're including the membership fee, which I didn't include because you can still continue to bid on cars throughout the year. It's not, if you're looking for one car alone, then I would include it, but since I bought more cars than just the one, I'm not including it. But with that fee, it would be $3,356, but total without that is $3,156. After seeing the absolute absurdity of those kind of fees, I decided to not buy another car from an auction, but rather to reinvest my money somewhere else. I bought a car with a broker instead and paid more money in more fees for a Mini. Oh. So, as you saw earlier in the video, this car came with some coilovers. They were Megan Racing coilovers, which is a pretty decent brand, but they were quickly deposited into the garbage bin after I bought my new coilovers, because those ones were blown out completely. They were completely unusable. It wasn't even like potholes, just like driving the car would clonk, clonk, clonk. Couldn't use them, but I made the brilliant decision to buy new coilovers. Instead of just going back to stock suspension, I thought, no, I need coilovers. And since that's such a critical component, I'm not going to cheap out. I bought cheap eBay coilovers. Those lasted about 3 months, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go back to stock suspension. So I found some on Marketplace for $100, and they've been on the car since. Besides the coilovers, there wasn't all that much keeping me from daily driving the car. That needed a new battery, but that was, $70 at Walmart, and the car started right up and drove fine. Sure, it looks like Rudy Klein backed his forklift into the rear taillight, but by some miracle that taillight still worked somehow, and fully operational. Like, there's turn signals and everything still works, so it was still legal to drive. But unfortunately, North Carolina does have a an annual vehicle inspection that they do each year. That's required to do in order to have your registration renewed on your vehicle. So if the car does make it a year, I will have to get that taillight replaced by the time I need to have that inspection done. So we'll see what happens.